Hello, everyone. Welcome to the episode of The Beauty of Grey. Hello, Jake.
Hey.
Hello, Michelle.
Hello.
So, for today's episode, we kind of want to talk about archetypes. And I'm going to put this over to Jake because this is a near and dear topic to him. So,
It
Jake, tell us
is.
all about archetypes, and then Michelle and I will chime in as necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. So, archetypes for our listeners who maybe are unfamiliar or maybe have heard the phrase and just weren't sure exactly what it means or how it's exactly applicable. Archetypes really were really essentially coined a lot by the psychologist Carl Jung. Carl Jung does really amazing work and all really kind of pairing the supernatural to the subconscious, and how the conscious mind and symbolism really kind of go hand in hand. So you'll actually see like people who own, if you own a couple tarot decks or if you own a couple books on intuition or on psychic symbolism, you will probably see a couple references to him. So what is an archetype? An archetype essentially is a role or a character that exists in this life. For example, there is the caregiver, the teacher, the mother, the child.
Those are the four main ones, I think.
There's
Good job, Jake.
I'm killing it. And what really got me into archetypes early on was when I was reading a lot of tarot books. I think it was Tarot 101. I was reading through, and you really kind of start to see the hero's journey in the tarot deck and really reflective of these different archetypes. And really, you could essentially say that all of the major arcana are individual archetypes in and of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that that might be a character trait or that might be a space in our life that we are sitting in, maybe of the high priestess, meaning that you're feeling much more drawn to sit back into your more maybe passive energy, listen to your intuition, maybe take a break from that hustle and bustle to really start cultivating your practice. Or perhaps maybe you're feeling a little bit like the devil, where you feel like you've been playing it safe and you need to start making a little bit more rash decisions, and kind of go a little bit against the grain. Really, archetypes have positive and negative lights that they can be seen in. But really, ultimately, an archetype is really great to identify to, number one, see how you're acting and reacting in a situation or in this chapter. And then also to understand the different perspectives that are happening in a situation, maybe of your friend, your family, a loved one. Really powerful stuff. But I will shut up and let you two chime in.
No, I think you bring up a valuable point. Like, if like the archetypes do have like a dark side and a light side to it. And I
Mhm.
think if you can identify maybe the archetype that you're sitting in and having a moment, like you said, you can either react to it, you can be empowered by it, but it
Mhm.
brings you like a deeper understanding to maybe why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. And I
Mhm.
also like that for me, archetypes, I kind of relate it to a persona. Like I'm maybe wearing this mask, or right now I'm going to shift into my mom mode, or tomorrow I'm going to shift into this mode. And I like that we can always like kind of walk this path. And also I think it's really for self-reflection. Like, wow,
Absolutely.
why am I being triggered by this? Why am I upset by this person acting like this? Do you think
Mhm.
that that really helps you to empower yourself to kind of really deal with maybe society as a whole? Michelle,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I mean, like literally, like I totally agree with you because I was literally just thinking of shadow work and things like that, like
Yeah.
how it would like learning different archetypes and diving deep into that and figuring out where you are, archetype wise in that moment can really help with where you are on your journey in terms of
Mm-hmm.
like learning about yourself and shadow work and that all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
Um, yep.
And but the thing is that let me ask you this, like there's thousands of archetypes. So how do you
Yeah.
guys know what archetype? Do you use a deck? Do you use a book? Like what do you guys use as tools to find out what archetypes am I maybe operating with?
For me, I use the Carolyn Mice Oracle deck very frequently. But there are several hundreds of books on archetypes.
Yeah.
Essentially, for every role in a story or in a journey in a production, any role or character that exists is an archetype, right? They all can fall under an umbrella. Maybe the
Mm-hmm.
archetype of the villain, maybe the archetype of the martyr.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of different squares. So essentially, it is just an umbrella term for this certain space, a certain energy of how you kind of are moving in and out of something or what you can expect to receive out of
Mm-hmm.
something. Um,
Michelle, I know you use a deck.
Yes, I
that
use
you use
the
with your
Wild
clients?
Unknown. I'm sorry, what was that? I'm sorry.
That you use a like an archetype deck that you use with your clients. Can you maybe tell us a little bit
Yes.
about that?
I use the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. They have a tarot deck. They have the Archetypes deck. They have an Animal Spirit deck. They have a few other
Get it
decks
out.
out too
Get
that
it out.
You're right.
oh, I've got it is right here.
I forgot that they made an
Ready.
archetype deck. Oh my God, you just reminded me.
Dude, it is one of the most beautiful decks that I have ever used ever. It's
I
I
know.
like the Wild Unknown. Their whole brand is just the
Mhm.
way that like the care that they put into what they put out there is just I love it. I
They
absolutely
had
love it.
they absolutely had the tarot community by the neck the year that the Wild
Yes.
Unknown Tarot came out. I live.
Yes.
By the neck.
It's like, oh my God,
They
like every
owned
time they're
it.
like, oh, they did every
Swear.
time they're like, we're gonna drop a new deck or something. I was like, yes. I mean, look at how look at this. It's a freaking
I like that
diamond.
they're circles. Sorry,
Yes.
it's little things. Is
And
that
it's
a
like
diamond? It
there's
looks like a
so much on the
diamond.
back of the every card is the back of the diamond. And then like the artwork that's with this is just like so there's like this one, this is the maiden.
Oh,
Mm.
look at
And just
that.
like you can inspect these cards for like forever and be like, oh, and not realize all the different symbolism that's in there. So
Mhm.
like definitely like it's the same thing as like a tarot card. You want to inspect that card with those archetypes and really like dive deep into it and then look at the meaning. And like their the meanings that they have in the book are just like it's like if you want to dive deep and really get all the
That
feely
sounds like a
feels when it
threat.
comes to your archetypes. Oh my gosh.
So
So yeah,
Michelle, pull us
no
some
god.
archetype cards.
I was like, I knew it was coming. All right, let's
Who's
see. Who's
intuitive
going first?
today? What?
Who wants to go first?
Jake.
Yes.
All right, let's see.
Do you guys like my fun pen as she's pulling?
Oh, that's so cute.
All
My
right.
archetype
Carnival
is
recently. What's your archetype?
the dumpster fire.
So much. Oh, oh, all right. That's the second time that card has come out. So I'm gonna take it. All right. So the card that came out for you, Jake, is the Venom.
Oh.
This is this card, all right, I love it. But let me get out the book. Give me a second here. So talk amongst yourselves.
So Jake,
Yeah,
what is another reason why people would want to work with like an archetype and want to dive in more?
sure, definitely. So, I mean, and I can just kind of use examples from client work that I've done. A lot of times I will cross paths with people who, particularly women, who are in the archetype of the mother or the caregiver, depends on how you want to call it. And again, positive and negative to that. The positive is the nurturer, the one that watches out, the one that kind of takes in the kin, that she didn't necessarily ask for that. But then the shadow side of that is being the person that's always relied on for dumping emotional baggage onto or having to be the sole person responsible for making decisions, right?
Yeah.
And then the other passengers on the ship just kind of relinquish control, just kind of give it to that person. So archetypes can be really effective, especially in self-therapy or working with a therapist who uses archetypes to really understand where you're coming from as far as how you experience maybe trauma or hard situations in life. Like maybe for some, for example, if you know that, from deep childhood trauma, that the way that you come at intense situations is from the archetype of the martyr, meaning that it's hard to take responsibility, it's hard to be objective, then that really clues you into being like, oh, I need to take a step back and need to really take the time to pay attention to my train of thought and how am I spinning this narrative in a way that is deflecting responsibility, right? There's lots of different uses for archetypes.
So
Absolutely.
recently I did an interview of a lady who does, archetype therapy. She has 20 years of experience. And I was
Yeah.
talking about the doctors in the doctor's office. And she actually meets with a group and she wanted to kind of dive into what their archetypes might present as. And she said that they decided their archetypes that might best display arrogance in the shadow would be ones from the royalty family: king, queen, princess, and prince. In the shadow, they can be arrogant, entitled, fearful of losing power, self-centered. And in the light, they are generous, merciful, humanitarian, and make best entrance of the people they rule as their first priority. And I was like, those sounds like my doctors. But it was, I mean, but it was interesting to kind of, I mean, even just that little snippet to be like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like it's very interesting. Sorry, go ahead, Michelle.
No, you're fine. So, okay. So, Jake, you have the Venom.
Yes.
So
he loves this.
I'm like, I'm all about it.
I'm
The
particularly
keywords for
Venom.
that. It's I was reading through it. Like I've gotten, it's interesting because there's certain cards that come out more often than the others do. And this oddly enough comes out more often than you would expect it to. So the key components here are the poison, the curse, the toxin. Much to our dismay, the venom is always lurking in the shadows in one form or another. Its toxic presence may be found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it is built into our every exhale. We breathe out carbon dioxide and the plants return it to us as oxygen. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily, however, and it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and to the world. When the venom card appears, there is a harmful substance in our psychic realm that must be identified. Perhaps your words have a sting of poison about them. Perhaps a relationship is slowly draining your reserves. Acknowledgement is the first step to change. Change is the second. The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it, forgiveness.
Does that
Absolutely.
resonate with you?
Oh my God, absolutely. And that exists in several different ways. So the venom for me, I'm kind of interpreting it as almost like the shadow side of the Queen of Swords, for example, which is definitely a way that I've always kind of combated stressful situations. So like lately with work, a lot of shifts were happening, really feeling overwhelmed. And I could find myself slipping into that old archetype of being very pointed and maybe a little bit inflexible to some changes and things. So completely makes sense. Yes, completely makes sense. And it is something that I'm aware of. So it is something that I have to step back and be like, all right, listen up, girl. Like we gotta calm it down.
Well, the cool thing about this book, the way they structure it, now there's different like as you look at this, they have like different things on the side.
Oh wow.
They have stuff down here. So like they have, so when light, self-realization through suffering, when dark, unwillingness to find a solution or forgive. And then they have a song, if you want to go deeper, A Poison Tree by William Blake.
Interesting.
Is it like, and now you want to go look at the song and go listen to the song.
I'm looking up the song right now.
It's awesome. I love, like, I love this whole book and deck. It's amazing.
All right, I'm sold. I'm ordering it.
You need to. It's like,
I'm going to.
It's one of my favorites that I work with. It's fantastic. Like the side stuff here, when you harm another, you harm yourself. Keep in mind, this goes for our earth as well, with cosmic consequences. And then on the other side, the spreading of the venom is like a chain reaction. When we strike others, it is likely we have ourselves been struck. Break the cycle.
Amen.
Yep. I love that stuff. That's so awesome.
What's the name of the card deck again, and who's it by?
It is by the Wild Unknown. It's just the Archetypes.
Okay.
It comes in this lovely box. I do believe Barnes and Noble does have, at least they did the last time I was there. They had a few of them, but you can just go right on the Wild Unknown website and order it. Yeah. I like go straight to them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, go pay for them. So, but it's definitely like it's worth every penny. And it's it's Kim Kranz is the Krans is the one that actually developed all the cards.
I love that. That sounds
and
amazing.
They're all, the cool thing too is that all of those all the decks, the tarot deck, the animal spirit, they're all designed to be used together. So I will oftentimes use them together depending on what I'm doing, but like it's interesting how they all relate to one another. I love it.
So as a side note, this is actually 45% off on Amazon for $21.99.
Oh, nice.
It's regularly $39.99 and it's on sale for $21.99 on.
Come
I
on,
love
sale.
I
Get
know.
it. Get
I
it.
love it.
Get it. Get it now. Anything. Oh, and they have another one, the Wild Unknown Alchemy.
Yes.
That's 19% off.
I
I
believe
didn't
the
know that
alchemy
one.
deck, I don't know if it's an actual deck. Is it like
It's a
a
deck and guidebook.
okay.
Oh
Because
no,
there's
my wish list is
something that
growing.
God, I'm gonna have like this is they like I go broke because of these people.
That is fun.
Well, I
Oh my
love
God,
their
same.
artwork too. Like I use their tarot deck. I don't know, like it's like that's my go-to deck a lot of the times. I
That
call
Listen,
it my
once you
bitch slap deck.
yes. And once you find like a favorite author or like a favorite like publisher, like you just like can't break away. Like Barbara Moore.
Exactly.
Barbara Moore is like my
Yes.
favorite. She can write the fuck out of a guidebook. Oh, excuse me.
Uh,
I literally had to pick up the Wonderland or tarot the other day, even though I've got a
Ooh.
very beautiful deck of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
It's because it's her deck, and I'm like, oh my God, I need this.
Yes.
Was
think
it
she
the
also did the
Tarot in Wonderland?
it is yes, it was. It's the Tarot in Wonderland. I literally just bought this the
Oh,
other
I love
day.
that. That
Um
is also on sale on Amazon.
that's so funny. She did the guidebook for the Steampunk Tarot, and I think she also did the one for the
Yes.
Shadowscapes Tarot too.
Those are really pretty pictures.
I know yeah, it's very kitschy.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add about archetypes, working with archetypes, anything like that?
Yeah, I think that we're always observing and always acting within archetypes, and I think that they can be a really powerful tool for self-healing and also kind of understanding situations from an outside perspective. So anybody that's interested in doing self-healing work, anybody that's maybe working with a therapist currently, or maybe even like a shaman or a medicine healer, bring up archetypes, ask their opinion, or maybe start a dialogue around it. It's beautiful things to journal about. So I definitely recommend for you to do your research and find ones that you resonate with. And don't be afraid to ask yourself tough questions.
Like, am I in the Venom archetype right now?
Yeah. In what way am I deceiving myself? Right? Like,
True. I
Yes.
mean, sometimes I think it may even make it easier to ask tough questions, you know, because
absolutely.
it's kind of in black and white. It's like, all right,
Yep.
well, this makes sense. You know, and
Mhm.
instead of somebody saying, "Oh, why are you acting like this?" where we're going to take it personally and act defensive, you
Mhm.
know, if this
Mhm.
is like, no, I've done my research and now I can be reflective and really truly dig in and do the work. Because we like to
Absolutely.
do
Absolutely.
that by ourselves. We don't like to tell other people.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, do we really want to?
Yeah.
So today I was a bitch and I had a
Right.
tone. But you know, but those things stick with you. Like I don't know about
Mm,
you guys, but when I have interactions that I know that I wasn't my best self,
mm,
those stick with me. And I'm like, well, why did I
Mhm.
act like that? What role did I play in this? What could I have done
mhm,
differently? You
mhm.
know, and those are times when, you know, like you said, get out a journal on it. And maybe for me, get an archetype deck and just pull a card and see what happens,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
I
know?
mean, and that also, even just in that, speaking to that in itself, like that can also go for the opposite end of things.
Yeah.
For somebody that's like a super people pleaser that
Mm,
always overthinks everything they say,
yeah.
and they're like, "Oh God, I offended somebody," and it's like, no, you didn't. like, look, reflect back onto that, reflect
Yeah.
onto that archetype.
It'd be
It'll help.
interesting for people that, you know, that as you say that, I'm thinking about people who are always, oh, woe is me, my poor life. You
Yeah,
Mhm.
know, like it may help
absolutely.
them shift
They're
out of
never
that mindset.
grateful. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting. Anything else, Michelle, that you want to add about archetypes or anything like that?
No, I mean, I think we pretty much said it. Like I agree with everything that everybody's been saying. I mean, I do feel like it's
Wow, we're
very important.
amazing. We're
I
We
know
archetype
you
really
are.
killed
It's
it.
okay. I think it's very important, and I think it's something that like, especially like if you're even just coming from like the witchcraft side of things,
Mm,
if people want to dive a little bit deeper into their psyche and why they do what they do, it's a great guide to have like a deck like this and
yeah.
to just kind of dive into archetypes in general, just because it heightens what you do. It heightens your abilities and just spiritually in general.
Mhm.
Well, it
So
really sounds like you can really like tap more into your spiritual kind of self and really
Yeah.
like what's going on
definitely.
here. I like
Well,
that.
Yeah.
the better, like, you gotta think about it. The better you understand yourself, and the better you understand like the different parts of you that come out during certain situations. Like, if you know that you're apt to where you're very quick to be angry over a silly situation, and you also happen to be a witch, and you're immediately going to go for some sort of baneful something, then like, all right, maybe I need to reel that in for a second and not create totally complete chaos.
So what I'm
Mhm.
Or
hearing
create
is
chaos, whatever you
don't
want.
cross Michelle.
I
And
It might be a warning, I'm just saying.
well, and also,
I would never.
You know what it makes me think of too is like some people really go heavy into astrology, or maybe, oh my goodness, what is that design work that people love? Oh my goodness. Anyway.
Feng
What?
Shui?
No, it's
Feng Shui?
they do I'm like,
Design work.
but you know what I mean? Like you may not necessarily resonate with, astrology
Yes.
or something like that. For this seems very black and white.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of it sounds more logical. Like I can really anyone, don't have to be spiritual or not, can dig in and learn about this and really have a more empowered life.
Absolutely. They're all
You know?
facets of the human psyche, of the human experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So anything else you guys want to add before we wrap up this wonderful episode?
Um, probably not, but my only other thing is that maybe if anybody doesn't have a deck of archetypes, if you have maybe a tarot deck at home, I would encourage you to even use those. Every single card in there is an archetype in and of itself.
Absolutely.
Each suit is an archetype in and of itself. So you can really get really deep and roll your sleeves up in that sense too. But yeah, if you feel called to it, look into it. It's some powerful stuff.
So really jump down the
100%.
rabbit hole is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
It's
No
let
pun
us
intended
know.
to Alice in Wonderland.
Well, thank you all so much, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.